What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Don't forget, at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, we will be here with the Whether You Like It or Not panel to discuss the Real Housewives of Potomac. The candle is ready for me to light it up. And let's get into this. So let's just jump right in. For the people who are here, we're going to get into the things of the things of the things. So 3 years ago, the news broke that Erica Gerardi husband Tom Gerardi, which first the news broke that she was filing for divorce, and then all of the walls came tumbling down on his law practice, the fact that he owed money, he was gonna have to file bankruptcy, and it just seemed like it was one thing after another, after another, after another. So a documentary came out by Hulu called The Housewife and the Hustler, where I think they did a pretty good job of explaining and breaking down what happened. We have seen it since then play out more in the media, play out on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and now we have part two. We're not finished going through it. I ain't put my lips back on. We're not finished going through it, but we're on the other side of it to a certain extent. Hey, everybody coming in, please hit the like button and come on and take a seat, please, and thank you. So, when part two came out, I said, oh, we're going to review part two. And then I just got busy and I didn't get a chance to get to it. But somebody was like, no, because at first people were telling me, oh, it's just pretty much the same information. But then people came back and was like, no, it is more to it. You got to go watch it. So I was off today and I said, well, let me watch it and let me see what it is. And baby, I got about halfway through and I was like, oh no, we're going to talk about this. Yeah, part two dropped the last Friday and it's on Hulu. So let me get to my notes because baby, I got notes. I'm going to try my best to not reiterate the information that we already know. But some of it I do have to kind of review. Now, what I will say is I have linked in the description box my first my review on the first part of Housewife and the Hustler. I have also linked the video we did when we went through Tom Girardi, the article that came out as it relates to Tom Girardi and the Los Angeles Bar Association, and how was he allowed to get away with it. And it breaks down the stuff that's in the documentary with more detail. It's the actual document. So, go back and look at those two videos if you need a refresher course or if you need to get back into the details. But a lot of this article, a lot of part two, it does deal a lot more with how he was able to get away with what he did for so long. And it sort of gives us an update on Erica and it gives you some new information. So the documentary, it starts with Erica Girardi meeting up with the victims. Now, if you've been watching the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you know Erica has been very unsympathetic to the victims. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to try to be fair, and I'm going to say, listen, I understand Erica went through a lot. I mean, literally her life of luxury was gone damn near overnight. However, I don't think that excuses the fact that your life of luxury was built off the backs of these people. And whether you don't have to take accountability to show empathy. And I think that is what Erica is missing. Even now, her storyline this season has been, the last 4 episodes. What up, Don Boo? The last 4 episodes, she's been mad because the girls are not apologizing to her or showing any sort of sympathy because they were wrong about these earrings, which we're going to get to the earrings in a minute. And I've been saying in my reviews, and I will continue to say, Erica, first of all, you weren't found in the clear. That's number one. You filed an appeal to get the earrings back, and a judge agreed to hear your appeal. You didn't win the earrings back. Number two, there is no way Not with all of the evidence that we heard in the first part and this now in the second part. There's no way that you can justify your lifestyle without understanding that it came on the backs of these victims. So the episode starts off, not episode, this the series, it starts off with Erica meeting with the victims. Here's what pissed me off from the beginning. Erica sits down with the victims. And I'm paraphrasing because I didn't write word for word how the conversation went. But Erica, they said to Erica, you know, that they were upset that she acted as if she wasn't sure if there were any victims. And she said, well, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know your case. I don't know the details of your cases. Now, that wasn't the question that they asked, that she answered that to, because again, I don't remember the exact question. But here's what pissed me off. You knew you were going to meet with those victims. You knew their names. And because you knew their names, you, in my opinion, should have walked in there knowing exactly who those women were. You should have known their case. You should have known what, like, for example, if their case was, if they were one of the widows from the aircraft that went down, you should have known that. If they were from one of his cases dealing with the drinking water, you should have known that. You agreed to meet with them, which means that I feel like you should have walked in there with some level of understanding of who these women were. It wasn't a whole group of people. It wasn't like you were meeting with 100 people and it was like, oh, I'm not sure. It was like 4 of them. So for you to be like, well, I don't know your case. I don't know. So that pissed me off. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if that had been me, I'd have been pissed off. And I don't know if I would have even finished with the meeting. Because how dare you, after everything that you've done and said, insinuating that there aren't even really real victims, and basically you don't care, and this, that, and the other, that you only care about you. Like all of these sound bites that have been circling around for the last couple of years, and now all of a sudden you don't even know what my case was about. So that kind of, I'm gonna be honest with you, that threw me off guard. That sort of pissed me off, right? So that's how the episode started. She went in and pretending to be a victim too. Child, Quake said they were too nice to her and starstruck to me. I think so. The clip they showed us at the beginning, that's sort of what they showed us at the beginning, and then they went into the whole story, and then at the end they showed us how that meeting happened, and we saw the rest of the meeting. And I'm agree with you, Quake. What we saw at the end, they were way too nice, and they did actually. By the time that meeting was over, it did seem like they were acting like she was doing them a favor, and I was like, "Ma'am, she's not doing y'all a favor. Let's not forget." Again, I said from the beginning, and I think I've been pretty consistent. I mean, if I said something different, I don't remember. But I think I've been very consistent in saying I don't think Erica knew. I don't. Not in the beginning. I don't. I think Erica knew exactly when Erica said she knew, and or suspected. She said that when her name was a part of a lawsuit, that's when she was like, hold on. How did my name get in this? And then she said when the credit card started getting declined. Because let's be clear, we're not going to give Erica more than what we've been. Listen, we can't say she a gold digger and didn't give her more than being a gold digger. If Erica married that old man because he was a millionaire and he could give her a lifestyle that she wanted to have, then when that lifestyle started slipping away, of course she decided now is the time to divorce this 80-year-old man. If I'm going out here shopping and the credit card is getting declined, why am I here? So I do not think that for probably 18 years of her marriage, Erica knew where and how the money was coming in, other than the money was there when she wanted to spend it. That's it. That's my opinion. Now, I know other people may disagree, and that's fine, but that's my opinion. So we do meet a few new victims. I like the fact that we heard about another case, the case at Lockheed, and we met a victim who was a black man by the name of hold on, I wrote his name down. Danny Barnes. Okay, Danny Barnes worked at Lockheed. He talked about how Lockheed was a good job, how he started working there when he was a teenager, and by the time he was 23, I think he was diagnosed with cancer. And he said that everybody knew that that particular building where he was working in Lockheed, he was a maintenance worker. It was full of chemicals and there was no ventilation. And 25, thank you, just simply 25. And that they knew that there was something wrong. They filed a lawsuit, and he said that basically next thing he knew, here comes Tom Gerardi. He says he never signed anything. He never signed an official agreement. He never signed a specific agreement with Tom Gerardi. And I'll get into more details, but we meet him. Then we meet the journalists who have written these articles. And what they said was the article it sort of went back, and this is the article. They're the ones that wrote the side note. You do great with book clubs, DMV book club, host meetups, just saying, around the city. Are they on Meetup? Cocktails and Chanel, are they on Meetup? I used to be in a book club before the Panorama, and then it kind of dissolved during, which really was a time we probably could have read more books, but anyway, it sort of dissolved. Are they on Meetup? DMV, hashtag DMV book club. Let me know where I can find it. I'll look into it. I'm open to it. Thank you. Because speaking of which, Tamara Hall's new book, remember we read the first one, and it's a series. The book is already out, but it's out on audio. Oh, you're saying I should host one? Again, I don't know the details on how to do any of that. Let me hit me up in my DMs. Cocktails, you got my Instagram? Hit me up in my DMs with the information, because I'm not sure. I used to be on Meetup, but I haven't been on Meetup in a long time. Okay. So the journalists, they was talking about how Tom Gerardi was the king of the hill. And again, if you were here, or if you were here when I reviewed the article on the California bar and Tom Gerardi, we talked about that. We talked about how Tom Gerardi was the man. You know, he had won so many cases that people were afraid. Like, it's almost like Johnny Cochran was, before he passed away. If you heard Johnny Cochran's name, it was kind of like, oh shit, Johnny Cochran. Oh damn, but also he was in good with the Los Angeles bar. And for those who don't know what the bar association is it is the judicial part for lawyers. Like they administer the bar exam that lawyers have to pass, but also they are the ones to make sure that lawyers are keeping their code of ethics. So Tom Gerardi, and we're going to get into a little more detail, but I covered all of this in that I covered all of that article, which gives you more details in that video. Like I said, it's in the description box. So the governing body, thank you, Quake. There you go. So they started pulling information on Tom Gerardi as it relates to the amount of complaints that he had been getting. And the man had over 200 complaints against him in the bar exam. I mean, at the bar. Now, they said while they were actually doing their preliminary, because they started hearing rumors of things, right? So they said while they were doing their research and they were pulling all together their research to do this article, that is when Erica filed for divorce. And they said, okay, we know there's something here. There's smoke, and we're following the smoke, but now we know that there's fire, because Erica has filed for divorce, and very quickly they low-key called Erica a gold digger, because what they said was once Erica filed for divorce, they knew he had no more money. Now I said, now they low-key called that woman a gold digger, honey. They low-key called that woman a gold digger. They said, well, she filed for divorce. We knew he had no more money. Now, probably the most shocking story was the story of the designers. And again, we've covered that story. So they started telling us the story. I'm gonna go in the order in which my notes are, so it'll jump around because it jumped around. So the designers, they said they started working with Erica when she really had only a few hundred followers down on social media. She wasn't a big deal. They, on the other hand, had worked with Katy Perry and Beyonce and Rihanna. Did they say Beyonce? I don't want to lie on them. I know they said Rihanna and Katy Perry. I feel like they said Beyonce, but I don't want to lie on them, so I'm gonna just say I know for a fact. Okay, I'm gonna say I know they said Rihanna and Katy Perry. I'm gonna put Beyonce to the side. If y'all let me know, because y'all let me know. They said that they started working with Erica, and when Erica found out that she was going to be on Housewives, everything was accelerated because Erica wanted to capitalize on being on the show. And they said basically there was never a budget, nothing was ever, they were never told no. Whatever ideas they came up with, whatever something cost, Erica just paid it. And that was their relationship for years. Even so by the time Erica started filming and was on the show, she had the singles out, she had the videos done, so that was her storyline. Now, again, that was genius. That was genius what she did, right? And you even saw on the show, they showed clips from Erica's earlier seasons on the show where her going into their business and being fitted for different costumes and talking to them and all of that. So very much a part of Erica's creative team. Okay. So they said they turned on her. They say that she turned on them when they needed money. We're going to come back to the designers. And honestly, it was their story that really made me want to do this video, because their story, it shows that on some level, Erica was complicit. Now, Erica could come back later and say, Tom made me, Tom was intimidating, Tom threatened me. Fine. But it shows that Erica, on some level, was complicit in to these designers. And even now that she hasn't been under Tom's spell for 3 years, you ain't doubled back to apologize to these men. So even if that were the case, even if even if we get to that point where I'm gonna say, okay, well, this man threatened Erica and she was scared of her husband. According to you, you haven't been under his spell for 3 years. So why you ain't double back to these men and apologize to what you did to them? Well, we're gonna get to them. We're gonna get to them. So the reporter said that once that first article dropped, that Tom actually called and threatened them, and they played the audio. They had the audio of Tom threatening them and basically telling them that he was going to sue them if they didn't print a retraction. And the journalist that wrote the article was like, I didn't feel like we needed to print a retraction because all we did was pull public documents. Like, we pulled, that article was written based on the complaints you had with the California bar. Like, there's nothing to retract, and go ahead and sue us. Okay. They said in the article that they found out that Tom had been stealing money from clients for years, going back to before the case of the neighborhood that blew up, which is really was really the linchpin for some of this. I believe his name was Joel Rodriguez. His story, the young man whose house blew up. So that's when we kind of go back to Lockheed Martin, right? So I told you guys a little bit already, and what they said was that had the California bar done their job when the complaints first started coming in, Tom Gerardi would never have even been in a position to owe the money from the neighborhood, the gas leak, because he would have already been disbarred. Because the one thing any lawyer will tell you, any lawyer that I have ever known in my life that was a part of the bar will tell you, if it's one thing that the bar will get you for faster than anything else, is mismanagement of client money. They'll let you walk the line on a lot of stuff. They'll play around. They'll give out warnings on a lot of things. But you mismanaging your client's money is the fastest way to get this bar. And the fact that Tom Gerardi had been getting away with it for years lets you know that there was some problems there. I wonder if these people are still a part of the bar in California. Well, we'll get to that. Some are, most aren't. So the Lockheed Martin case, it took 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, Lockheed Martin did not admit any liability, but they did settle for $33 million. Now, is his name Brian? Mr. Barnes said that Tom Gerardi was rude to them. He spoke to them very nastily. He said, it was a room full of, poor black folk and people of color. And he talked down to them. He said he was always nasty to them. And he said, he even said to one of the people, because they were all supposed to get $25,000. And he said he even told one of the people there, he called Tom the devil. He absolutely did. He said he told one of the people there, what you mad about $25,000? You've never seen that kind of money before. And it was just, you could just tell that. And now, listen, I ain't done the math, so I don't know how many clients there were. I don't know how many attorneys were involved. I don't know the fees. So I don't know if the math is correct on $25,000 a piece. Now, according though, when we get to the end of this video, Mr. Barnes has received $140,000 to date, and he feels like he is still owed another $2 million. But the fact that he's gotten $140,000 tells me that they should have gotten more than $25,000. I mean, again, I'm not a mathematician, but it seems pretty basic to me. He said that in 1993, they started filing complaints with the state bar. He said they filed a complaint in 93. They filed a complaint in 97. In 95, they filed a complaint in 97. In 2014 and 2015, there was a whistleblower report that again outlined that there was inappropriate behavior going on at the state bar, and Tom Gerardi was mixed up in it. There was a man by the name of Tom Layton. Tom Layton was a member of the bar, and part of his job was to make decisions about whether lawyers should be disciplined or not. Now, Tom Layton was very much a part of that article we read. So again, I'm going to just give you the overview of Tom Layton without stretching this out. Tom Layton Tom Gerardi gave Tom Layton over $2 million, paid for leases for his car and his wife's car. Tom Layton had a company credit card to Tom Gerardi's law firm. Tom Layton took trips with Tom Gerardi on his private jet multiple times. Tom Gerardi threw a birthday party for Tom Layton, where he spent a lot of money and flew in. I think it was Paul Anka. I think it was Put Your Head on My Shoulder guy. Tom Gerardi is the godfather to Tom Layton's child. But this is the man who worked for the bar, who was in charge of deciding whether lawyers should be disciplined. Here's what's funny. Not funny. Not funny, haha. Funny, ironic. Tom Layton was actually eventually fired. He sued for wrongful termination. He got a $400,000 settlement from the state bar. Ask me who his attorney was. You guessed it, Tom Gerardi. So then we flipped and we found out a little bit more about Steve Wilkes. So Stephen Wilkes, or Steve Wilkes, is this mystery benefactor that Erica Gerardi has, right? Now, Erica has maintained her story that she left, that the last time, that when she left Tom and she ain't had nothing. I don't believe that bullshit. I believe that Erica had a U-Haul truck backed up to that house, and Erica took everything that she could possibly take out that house. I don't believe for a minute that Erica didn't. I mean, we saw that she took some of her stuff, but she said she wasn't able to take everything. I just don't believe it. No, not from Maury. His name is not. He's not from the Maury Povich show. No. I absolutely do not believe that Erica did not take every fucking thing in that house, because I don't believe that Erica woke up one morning and decided she was going to leave. I believe it was very calculated. It was very thought out. And I do believe, this is my opinion, this is what I think, I do believe that her and Steve had a little something going on. Now, she said that, now Steve said that he has known Tom and Erica for a very long time. I think he said 2000. I think he said 2000. Said he used to travel with them and all that kind of stuff. They were very good friends. Steve said he made his money in boxing, and Steve lives in Las Vegas. Where does Erica have this residency? Ding, ding, ding. You guessed it, Las Vegas. Moving on. Steve gave Erica $150,000 when she first left Tom to help her moving expenses, to help put a down payment on that house that she's renting, and to help pay for this lawyer. Now, word on the curb is that guest house that she's living in, that pool house, is on his property. That's the pool house on his property. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I have read somewhere. Steve said, all in all, since Erica left Tom, he has spent a couple of $1 million helping Erica. Now, he said that Tom was very abusive. Tom, like, he never said physically, but he said very manipulative and mean and abusive. He even said that Erica, that Erica wasn't even allowed to wear blue jeans. Yet they literally showed a clip of Erica in blue jeans with Tom when they were doing the flashbacks to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So if he forbade her to wear jeans, when did that start? Because they literally showed a scene with Erica with jeans on with Tom. Okay. He said around 2010 is when Tom started changing. He stopped being nice. Now, I'm wondering if that was his way of trying to lead up to this Tom allegedly, being having dementia, or if he's trying to say this is around the time when maybe money started getting funny and the robbing Peter to pay Paul was starting to collapse. Ponzi schemes are going to always collapse. Okay. They said there were over 600 claims against Gerardi Keys of money being owed. Now, here's where it starts getting nasty towards Erica. Over 600 claims, meaning mostly clients, I guess, clients and creditors, I would say, filed claims against Tom Gerardi's estate and the law firm for compensation. Why Erica filed a claim as a creditor against Gerardi Keys as well? Girl, how you become a creditor? And I don't understand why your attorneys aren't saying this probably isn't a good idea. If nothing else, the optics of it. Explain to me. And I mean, they didn't get into the details of what in what capacity Erica is saying Tom owes her money, but explain to me how you, who has been living this elaborate ass lifestyle for the last 20 years, closets and closets and closets full of designer shit, high end. Like literally, you could just sell half the shit in your closet, Erica. I know Erica did try to sell some of her stuff, and they made her stop. I guess until all the legal stuff was to be resolved. That's fine, but at the end of the day, you could also get don't make me go down that road. But baby, you could get that shit appraised and you could take a loan out against your estate. But again, I ain't nobody's attorney, so I don't know if that's true or not. I just know that's what rich people be doing. But she might not be able to do it because of the bankruptcies and the lawsuits and stuff like that. But neither here nor there. The fact that you have the audacity to file a claim against this man's estate, ma'am, you are still married to him. Then we see that, you know, we know the majority of his stuff, of Tom's stuff, has been auctioned off. So the new owner of the building, who is also an attorney, he gave a tour, and he talked about why this man said that when he took over the building, like he bought the Gerardi Keys law building, he said when he first went into the building, why was it like a time capsule? He said literally it just looked like people just got up one day and walked out and never came back. He said there were literally people's lunches were still on their desk. There were active cases still sitting on people's desks. Like literally, people walked out one day and was like, "Fuck this." I don't know. I don't know if people thought. I don't know if people thought the feds were coming, or people thought they had to hurry up and run. Like I don't know what that is, but like that don't even make no sense. How you just get up and walk out like that? How you didn't take your lunch? But he said it was just files and files and files down in the file room. Child. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me write something down before I forget. Sorry about that. I had to write something down before I forgot. Okay. Then we get into these earrings. And once again, they explain to us this earring situation. Basically, to make a long story short, Tom Gerardi wrote a check directly to a jeweler, directly out of one of his clients' accounts for the earrings. They said that Tom gave out American Express cards to pretty much everybody, Erica included, and that is what they lived off of. The money was the bankruptcy judge said that the money was so commingled together that they don't know if they'll ever be able to unravel it. But I think it's clear that those earrings were purchased with money that was supposed to have gone at the very least, the money wasn't supposed to come directly out of the um the account of the business for your personal gift. Like even if Tom was paying all of his clients the way he should have been paying his clients, I still don't think it was appropriate for the check to come directly out of a client's account for your earrings. $750,000, Erica. And the fact that you are literally you are fighting to keep these earrings is the part that I don't think anybody, like, that is the part people cannot wrap their brain around. And you don't seem to understand the optics of it. You don't seem to understand the optics. That makes no sense. Get in them damn earrings and keep it moving. I am sure that you have 50,000 other pieces of jewelry that is worth good money that that man gave you over 20 years that the government ain't even thinking about. But this one pair of earrings is that's where you draw the line. Go sit down somewhere. But you want somebody to apologize to you, and you want somebody to feel something for you. Like, you make it hard for anybody to have any sympathy for you. You make it hard. So they said none of the unsecured victims have received a dime. So, well, by the end of this documentary, they gave a couple of updates. But let me explain what that means, because I wrote in my notes, what does that mean? And I was going to look it up, but they explained it. So what that means is there's two ways for the victims to recoup their money. The first way is to file a claim against the bankruptcy, which over 600 claims have been filed. The second way is you can file a claim with the victims fund with the state bar. The problem is there's a cap of $100,000. So if you believe that Tom owed you less than $100,000, then you could have filed your claim with the California Bar Association. But if you feel like Tom owed you more, or if you did not feel like, if you were owed more than $100,000, then you would have had to go through his bankruptcy and file a claim and get in line. Basically, you basically had to get in line. Now they said that over $1.2 million has been paid out through the victims fund. $1.2 million has been paid out through the victims fund. Now let's talk about these designers, Marco and Marco. Remember, for those of you that watched the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, remember when they played Two Truths and a Lie last season? And Erica's Two Truths and a Lie was, I don't remember, one was something about her being a hitman's girlfriend. The other one was something else. And then the third one was she wore a wire for the federal government. Remember that? And remember, everybody thought it was the hitman's, with a mafia's girlfriend, but come to find out, she said, no, I wore a wire tape. I wore a wire before for the FBI, for the law enforcement, Secret Service, it ended up being. So a lot of people were like, well, when the hell did that happen? It was this case with her former designers. Now, let me explain what had happened. She said that, he said, excuse me. Marco and Marco said the relationship was fine. They had a great relationship with Erica for years. Again, never a budget, never an issue with how much stuff cost. They would tell it, pay it, tell it, pay it, never a problem. Well, one day they got an order for some leotards for Erica, like 4 or 5 pair of leotards. They said, no problem. Next thing you know, they got a phone call from Erica saying, I didn't authorize that. Cancel that order. That wasn't me. They said, okay, no problem. They said Erica then called them and said, I want to come and talk to you. I want to come talk to you. Come down there and talk to you in person. There's some questions I have about billing. There's some discrepancies. He said, his name was Chris. He said, no problem. Come on down. Now, he said that when Erica got there, her whole attitude was different. He said, we've always had a great relationship with Erica, yet she walked in there. She was very curt, rude and, to the point. And they said she was her her tone was very aggressive, very, very aggressive towards them. They talked about the billing, talked about where there was some questions about the billing, and basically Erica said they owed that they owed her money. So that was in November. That was in November of 2016. Erica accused him of stealing over $800,000 from Gerardi Keys. And they were like, $800,000. They said our company wasn't even making $800,000 a year, much less stealing $100,000 from one client. They said that on New Year's, the law enforcement showed up with a search warrant. They searched the business, they searched his home, and in 2017, he was arrested for fraud against Erica. Erica was wearing a wire when she came down there for their private meeting. I mean, not private, but for their meeting. Chris got indicted. He was out on bond. I think it was $80,000 bond that his brother and his husband put up for him. He was indicted for 5 years. He was under indictment for 5 years. 5 years. He said in that 5 years, he lost his business. Him and his husband were trying to adopt a child. It was denied. His father died. His brother died. He said, and then one day he woke up and the charges were just dropped. And he doesn't know why. He said it was never explained to him why the charges were dropped. They just were. So, come to find out, there was a man by the name of Rob Savage. He worked for the Secret Service. The Secret Service, in conjunction with the FBI, built this task force to go after Marco and Marco. Well, it was really Chris, one of the Marcos, for this alleged mismanagement, overcharging of funds. But Rob Savage has a relationship with Tom Gerardi. Black guy too. Made me mad. They explained how Rod Savage, who worked for the Secret Service, basically inserted himself to after the designers for this bill, for this $800,000 overcharge. Come to find out, they ended up getting involved in a quid pro quo situation where Tom actually represented Rob in a case he had, and in exchange, Lord, I couldn't get the word. In exchange for him going after them for that, in exchange, Rob went after Marco. Okay. And there was an article written by Matt Hamlin on the whole wire fraud breakdown of what happened. So again, if you want all of the details, y'all can go find that article. And again, we broke down a lot of it in the video that I posted in the description box. Ultimately, what it boiled down to was they couldn't afford Tom, couldn't afford to pay the American Express bill, which had gotten up to them owing the designers $800,000. And so rather than try to figure out a way to pay the bill, they told American Express that they had been overcharged. So American Express, y'all know how the credit cards do. The American Express reimbursed Tom and Erica it was like $795,000. American Express reimbursed Erica and Tom and then went after Marco and Marco for fraud. And as a result, Erica cooperated with the investigation, which is why she wore a wire to get him on tape admitting that there was some discrepancies. Now, what we found out was in that conversation, he did admit to some discrepancies. They have it in the documents. He said in his mind, he was having a conversation with a longtime client who said, listen, you guys overcharged us, and this is an issue. And he felt like he was just kind of doing, okay, the customer's always right kind of thing, and agreed that there was some, okay, I see what there's some overcharges, but never in the amount of no $800,000. He said it was, I never said it was that amount of money, but he did agree that there was some overcharging. He said, not because I believed that my company had overcharged Erica, but because I thought, here's a client that I've been working with for years that has made, absolutely, I've made money off of. And now she's coming down here with an attitude. Almost, he used the word bullying him. And so I said, rather than, continue this potentially losing a very lucrative client, I'll just go ahead and eat it. That was his attitude. Well, come to find out, when his lawyer, because they've actually filed a complaint, they filed a lawsuit. He was able to show receipt for receipt that there was never any overcharging. There was never any discrepancies. There was never any problems. That he just admitted. I mean, he didn't know he was being audited. He didn't know he was being recorded. He didn't know he was under criminal investigation. So, like, I would have never admitted to that. No, I was under criminal investigation. I'm thinking I'm talking to a client who said, look, I checked my American Express bill. Looks like you overcharged me. And I said, you know what? You're right. My bad. There's some discrepancies here. Let's resolve it. But come to find out, when he actually did do, went through his receipts, he ain't overcharged nobody. But it all boiled down to Erica not having the money to pay the American Express bill. And that's why I'm saying, even if you're going to sit here and tell me, oh, well, Tom, I was so afraid of Tom and Tom made me do it. You have had 3 years to double back around to these men and say to them, I'm sorry. You've had 3 years to reach out to them. So he is filing a lawsuit against her. A lawsuit. It hasn't been settled yet. It hasn't been settled yet. Sorry. Every time I pick up my phone, y'all know it's 5,000 things here. I picked up my phone to check something. Shit. Damn it. Never mind. Because I picked up my phone to check something and I forgot what it was now. But anyway, so to make a long story short, I felt so bad. I mean, when I say they were crying, because even his partner, when Erica called and said, I want to come down there and talk to you, he even said to his partner, what do you think I should do? And he was like, well, you didn't do anything wrong. Come and talk to her, come and let her talk. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. So they're in the process now of rebuilding their business, and they've actually doing really well. They've been nominated 2 years in a row for an Emmy for costume design. So they're actually doing well, but it doesn't undo that. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't undo that. But they are actually doing better. But baby, after I saw that, I said, oh no, Erica. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Let me read through my notes and make sure I told you guys everything I wanted to say. Okay. Wire fraud. Chris said he felt bullied into saying there were mistakes. His receipts show there was never an overcharge. Okay, I think I got it all. Okay, I told you guys this already. Over 200. We almost done, y'all. Yeah, we almost done. Over 200 complaints to the bar. People were fired. People were fired after they wanted him to go to the discipline. Oh. People were actually fired that recommended that Tom Gerardi be disciplined. I'm sorry, I'm reading my own notes. So there were some people who said, wait a minute, Tom Gerardi, he's doing some shit down there. Okay. And he needs to be disciplined. There needs to be something going on because he has these complaints. We've investigated these complaints and we find that these complaints are credible. Baby, they got fired. It was at least 2 people that got fired that recommended that Tom be disciplined. Okay, I already told y'all about this. Sued the state bar. Told y'all about that. That was Tom Layton. I gave y'all all the stuff on Tom Layton. Okay, I told y'all about this. See, I was kind of out of order. I told y'all about this. File for the victims fund. Okay, yeah, we almost done. So then they talked about this competency hearing for Tom. Now y'all know that Tom's competency hearing was they found that he was competent to stand trial. Baby, why they had Tom show up in court with a suit that was too big and slippers on? I said, now y'all playing games. Y'all are trying too hard to make us think that this man is not competent. Y'all are trying too hard. How you gonna y'all couldn't find no shoes to fit that man? So just because he's incompetent don't mean he can't put on no damn shoes. Just because he has dementia don't mean you can't dress him nice. So y'all couldn't find a suit that fit that man and some shoes for him to go to court. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. But thank goodness the judge saw through it and they found that he was competent to stand trial. Okay. Baby, while they was in their competency hearing, Tom looked at the prosecutor and said, fuck you. So then they went back to Mr. Steve. Now, Steve said that he said, if I were advising Erica, I would have told Erica not to go back on that show because it didn't help. Like, because they started showing all the clips of the things that Erica said about the victims and this, that, and the other. And my thing was, you was already paying all her bills. You was already her new sugar daddy. Why you couldn't convince her not to do the show? Oh, because Erica's a narcissist that wanted the attention. Because her attorney turned around and said, well, yeah, maybe she didn't need to do, maybe she shouldn't have done the show, but she didn't have a choice. That was how she was paying her bills. No, she won't, because Steve was paying her bills because that man said he done gave her a couple of $1 million in the last 3 years. That's a lot of damn bill money. Everybody been wondering how Erica's lifestyle really ain't changed that much, okay? She moved into, her house got smaller. She moved into a pool house, but hell, she still got a full staff. Erica got an assistant. She still got a glam squad. She still wear the latest fashions. Even if she just getting it through a stylist and it don't belong to her, it don't matter. She's still paying a stylist to get the fashions. Hell, she can afford her Ozempic. I can't even afford Ozempic. She can afford Ozempic every month. Hell, that's $1,500-$1,600 a month. So if she wanted to walk away from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she could have. But I guess then the bankruptcy court would have really been asking where she getting her money from, Chad, I guess. The victim, so then it got to the end and it asked about the victims. The victims asked her, this is the other thing that pissed me off, when the victims asked her, well, what took her so long to do this? And she was like, do what? And they were like, to meet up with us. She said, well, nobody ever asked me. See, that's the difference between me and you. I would have wanted that. I would have asked for that meeting. If I absolutely positively did not know that my lifestyle was being funded, directly funded, not indirectly, because if your husband's a lawyer and he deals in personal injury and he makes a lot of money, then you know your lifestyle is being funded from victims. But I mean the fact that your husband was stealing the money from the victims, I absolutely would have said, you know what, is there a way that I can meet with these people? I need to look them in the face and I need to apologize. I need to let them know that I had nothing to do with this. The fact that her attitude was, well, nobody asked me. The good news is Joel Rodriguez, the first victim we met, going back to the first documentary, the young man whose house blew up. That, oh my gosh, his injuries. I just feel every time I see him, I feel so bad. He actually, at this point, he has now received the majority of his money. He still has not received all of his money, but he has received the majority of the money. And he was the first victim that was paid from the bankruptcy. So as they are selling off, they're liquidating his estate and they're selling off the house and the law firm and all of the different items that they auctioned off. He was the first victim that they paid. So some of the victims have started getting paid, but what they also said is that the reality is that most of the victims are never going to get their money, or at least not get all of their money. They may get a percentage of what's owed, but they're not going to get all of their money. So that was pretty much it. Part 2 was good because I think it gave us an update. It gave us more information. If you weren't here when we went over that lawsuit as it related to the California bar, it was a lot of new information, and we had kind of gone over that. But just that whole story with the designers is what did it for me. I was like, "Ooh, Erica, you dirty bitch, you dirty, dirty dog." Oh Lord, what did he do with all the money? He was living off of credit. The reality is the money probably sitting in an account somewhere. If you really want to know the truth of the matter, that money sitting next to Jeffrey Epstein money down in the Caribbean. If you asking me. I don't think that all his money's gone. That man said he had $80 million. I don't think $80 million is gone. But that's my opinion. All right, you guys, let me get out of here. You guys know that we are back for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. Y'all got a triple out of me today. Y'all got a triple out of me today. And I will talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace.